In the United Kingdom, a quiet residential street became the center of viral attention after a late-night encounter that left one homeowner shaken. Shortly after 2 a.m., a woman awoke with the distinct feeling that she was being watched. The sensation was strong enough to pull her from bed. She approached her front door and froze. Through the glass panel stood a man she did not recognize. He was motionless, silent, staring directly at her from just beyond the threshold. There was no attempt to knock, no visible explanation, just prolonged eye contact in the dark. The woman immediately contacted emergency services. Police arrived and detained the individual for evaluation. After medical assessment, he was reportedly released. No charges were filed. When the homeowner asked what she should do if he returned, the advice was simple: call again. The incident quickly circulated online. Many questioned whether current laws offer enough protection in cases that fall into legal gray areas, situations that feel threatening but may not meet criminal thresholds. Security specialists say that psychological impact in such cases can be severe. A home is expected to be a sanctuary. When that expectation is violated, even without physical intrusion, the sense of safety can collapse. The woman has since installed additional security measures, but she has reportedly said one thing still lingers: the stillness. In Egypt, a criminal case involving an 11-year-old girl has drawn widespread international attention and outrage. According to court records, the child was attacked near her home by a 24-year-old man who forcibly led her into a secluded area. The assault left her with severe physical trauma, including significant damage to her vision. Investigators stated that the suspect attempted to impair her ability to identify him afterward. The case moved quickly through the judicial system. In court, the judge handed down the maximum penalty under Egyptian law: capital punishment. Reports from inside the courtroom describe an emotional scene. The defendant reportedly broke down after hearing the sentence and made a desperate request to marry the victim, a proposal that was immediately rejected. Such attempts, historically used in some regions to avoid punishment in assault cases, have faced growing legal reform and public opposition. The girl's mother reportedly collapsed in relief upon hearing the verdict, thanking the court. The story spread widely across social media platforms, where users expressed disbelief that someone so young could commit such a crime. Advocacy groups say the case underscores ongoing challenges in protecting minors and ensuring justice. For many observers, the most disturbing element is not only the brutality of the act, but the attempt to escape accountability through marriage. Legal experts note that attitudes toward such loopholes are changing, but the trauma endured by the victim remains permanent. In a residential building in Russia, a routine delivery nearly turned fatal. Security footage from inside the apartment complex shows two workers entering the lobby while carrying a heavy load. The elevator doors stood open, waiting. One of the men stepped forward, shifting his weight into the cabin. That was when it happened. Without warning, and with the doors still open, the elevator suddenly shot upward. The movement was violent and immediate. In a fraction of a second, the worker jerked backward, barely clearing the threshold before the cabin rose past him. Had he committed fully to the step, he would have been caught between moving machinery and concrete. The footage ends with stunned silence. Residents later said the building's elevator had not been modernized in years. Complaints about strange sounds, sudden jolts, and inconsistent leveling had reportedly gone unanswered. Some tenants admitted they avoided using it whenever possible. Now the incident has triggered urgent demands for inspections and repairs. Officials have opened a technical review to determine what caused the malfunction. Experts note that elevator failures involving unintended movement are rare, but when they occur, the margin between survival and tragedy can be measured in inches. This time, luck intervened. Next time, it may not. In China, a disturbing story has reignited debate about rare psychiatric disorders and the fragile line between perception and reality. A young woman diagnosed with a condition known as body integrity identity disorder reportedly believed one of her legs did not belong to her body. Individuals with this disorder experience an intense and persistent feeling that a healthy limb is foreign, as though it were an attachment rather than a part of themselves. According to reports, the woman had struggled for years with the sensation that her leg was wrong. She described it as uneven, intrusive, and incompatible with her identity. What followed shocked millions. She carried out a self-inflicted amputation attempt and later shared images online. The content spread rapidly across social media platforms before being removed. Viewers reacted with disbelief, confusion, and alarm. Medical professionals stressed that such actions are not driven by attention-seeking behavior, but by profound psychological distress. Without treatment, individuals suffering from severe body identity disorders may experience overwhelming internal conflict. Authorities confirmed that the woman survived and is receiving medical and psychiatric care. The case has sparked urgent discussions among mental health experts. Some warn that exposure to online communities can reinforce dangerous beliefs. Others emphasize the need for early intervention and compassionate treatment. What unsettles many observers most is not only the act itself, but the certainty she reportedly expressed beforehand. To her, it was not self-harm. It was correction. In the Brazilian city of Uba, located in the state of Minas Gerais, catastrophic rainfall led to one of the most surreal disaster scenes captured in recent years. After days of relentless storms, flash flooding tore through neighborhoods, overwhelming drainage systems and turning streets into rushing rivers. Among the damaged buildings was a local funeral home. Water surged through the structure with such force that dozens of coffins were swept from storage and carried into the streets. Videos show them drifting through muddy floodwater, colliding with vehicles, debris, and broken infrastructure. Residents filmed in disbelief as the current carried the wooden caskets down avenues that had transformed into waterways. The imagery spread rapidly across social media, described by many as one of the most haunting symbols of the disaster. But beyond the viral footage lies a larger tragedy. Record rainfall across the region triggered landslides, structural collapses, and mass evacuations. Thousands were displaced. Entire neighborhoods were submerged. Authorities confirmed that approximately 70 people lost their lives statewide as a result of the extreme weather. Many others were reported missing as search teams continued operations in unstable areas. Disaster response crews described the flooding as among the worst in recent memory. For residents of Yuba, the sight of coffins drifting through floodwater was more than shocking. It was a stark reminder that nature does not respect boundaries, not even those meant for final rest. A disturbing case from the United States has resurfaced months after it first occurred. What happened in 2024 remained largely unnoticed, until new investigation footage and details began circulating online, sending a chill through viewers. The quiet suburb of Coon Rapids, Minnesota, appeared no different from any other peaceful neighborhood. On that day, a man dressed in a UPS delivery uniform approached a residential home carrying a package. Everything looked routine. No alarms. No suspicion. Just another delivery. But investigators later confirmed that the uniform was a disguise. Surveillance footage shows the courier calmly entering the house. Within minutes, the situation inside turned into something far darker. Several people were present, including adults and children. What followed was not a robbery, but a deliberate act of violence. Authorities later confirmed that 3 residents lost their lives. Even more disturbing, some of the events were witnessed by children inside the home. One child reportedly tried to shield a younger family member after realizing the danger was not random, but intentional. Police later detained a 39-year-old suspect. Items found in his vehicle confirmed the delivery setup had been staged. The court sentenced him to life in prison with no possibility of release. The case is now spreading online again, frightening viewers even more than when it first occurred, because it delivers a chilling reminder. Danger does not always arrive looking dangerous. Sometimes, it knocks wearing a uniform. A corporate celebration in Moscow ended in a medical emergency that shocked both guests and professionals. During the event, a man was offered a specialty drink prepared using liquid nitrogen, a technique sometimes used for visual effect. Experts note that such drinks are only safe after the substance fully evaporates. In this case, that step was ignored. The man was encouraged to drink immediately. Within moments, he became seriously unwell. Emergency services were called, and he was rushed to the hospital, where doctors performed urgent surgery. Medical specialists later confirmed that the cause was improper preparation and lack of warning. The incident reignited public debate about extreme culinary trends and the risks of turning science into entertainment without proper safeguards. What was meant to impress nearly became fatal, turning a celebration into a warning. A routine NASA live stream unexpectedly triggered widespread panic online. During the broadcast, viewers noticed dozens of glowing objects appearing on screen. They moved unpredictably, changing direction in ways that seemed almost reactive. Screen recordings quickly spread across social media. Speculation followed instantly. Some suggested space debris or digital interference. Others pointed to atmospheric effects. What unsettled many viewers was the movement itself: short bursts, sudden shifts, and no clear pattern. The objects did not follow standard orbital paths. NASA has issued no official explanation. Some believe it was a simple technical artifact. Others suspect the feed briefly showed something not meant for public view. Whether it was a glitch or something unexplained, the footage remains unanswered, and that uncertainty is what continues to disturb viewers the most. A tragic accident involving a young child has drawn attention to an overlooked danger. In China's Zhejiang province, a 3-year-old boy was given bubble tea by his mother while playing on a trampoline. The drink contained tapioca pearls, which experts say are not suitable for small children. While jumping, the child began to choke. Emergency measures were attempted, but the texture of the pearls made rescue impossible. The child passed away before help could arrive. The father later stated that the shopping center should have provided warnings about age restrictions and eating during physical activity. Public opinion remains divided. Some sympathize deeply with the grieving parents. Others argue the incident highlights a lack of awareness rather than faulty products. The tragedy has since sparked calls for clearer safety warnings, because some dangers hide behind everyday treats. A private car sale turned into a fatal trap. A 30-year-old man named Vladimir listed his Kia Optima at a premium price. Soon after, he was contacted by potential buyers from another city. They suggested discussing the deal in a residential courtyard. The buyers arrived in a vehicle without license plates. When Vladimir entered their car, investigators say he was attacked. He did not survive. The suspects attempted to erase evidence and fled using his vehicle. Concern grew when Vladimir failed to return home. His pregnant wife contacted authorities. The next day, the car was found in another city. 2 repeat offenders, both 23 years old, were arrested. The case stands as a grim warning. Trust, when misplaced, can be exploited in the most devastating way. China's Zhejiang province, an 86-year-old woman was known for her strength and independence. Despite her age, she worked daily in the fields and rarely complained of illness. Locals believed she would live many more years. Then, without warning, she fell severely ill. Her condition deteriorated rapidly, marked by extreme weakness and physical distress. Doctors were unable to save her, and her passing shocked the entire community. After the funeral, her son, an elderly man himself, decided to perform an ancient ritual. According to tradition, sleeping in the bed of the deceased was believed to help the soul find peace. Shortly after doing so, he began experiencing the same symptoms that had claimed his mother. Doctors intervened in time and uncovered the real cause, a virus transmitted by a tick bite. The illness had taken the woman's life, and then passed to her son through contaminated bedding. The story sparked nationwide discussion. What was meant as an act of love nearly resulted in another loss. It became a grim reminder that tradition, when misunderstood, can carry unseen dangers.
Yeah, my mood, no bar, that's the way, that's the flag. You cry line, screenshot pin for engagement.
I bled this solids and one more getting payment.
You say we can't rap before cancel a name. I say it to my face, let's see who's brave. Your favorite rapper, most like he's ever sleep. No push line, just vibes in the